Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for Tuesday, March 29. So we'll have a look at, this is a daily chart here. This is the bullish count where we have a running flat with an A and a B and a C here for running flat. It doesn't really present a nice wave 1 and 2 in here, but I do want to keep it for the time being, because if I get a classic trading levels pattern sitting on the 50,000 here, well then that will be the correct count at that point if we get some sort of move like that. So I just want to keep this here, but the most probable count for this is the triangle pattern, which is this one here. So I'm just keeping it simple with ABCs at this stage with wave 3 over here and ABC here for the D wave and ABC here for the E wave, and then up at that point. Now there is another count that I've had on the weekly. We have seen it before, but we haven't looked at it for a good week or two, which is this one here. So this is a weekly chart. So this here looks at the possibility of wave 3 here with wave 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 up here for wave 1 up here. Now we could have that as a wave 3 as well, that primary structure here, but it doesn't make a great deal of difference at this point. In this case here is that we look at all of this as the A wave, the B wave back here to the 50-60%, and then a C wave down here. Now I've just got this basically the same length here, A equaling C in terms of equality and length and so on, which will bring us down just under the 20,000 at that point. So that's a real possibility. So we can, we'll continue to look. I'll remind you of that, once we get to the top here and move on down, because as a B wave here, everything fits in here quite nicely for that move there. But our main focus really will be, the bullish count, as I mentioned. This bullish count will carry some weight if we get a classic trading levels pattern across that level there, and that pattern will look like this here, the arrival, if that's the 50,000. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC, and then climbing back on here, because any bearish count, the other big triangle pattern we got, would move down from that point. So looking at these tops here and trading long on any of those tops. So we'll keep that in mind. We've just got to keep an eye on things, and the main count would be this one here, the triangle pattern at this point. So yeah, I think the bullish count is kind of there. I know that just a lot of Elliott people don't agree with it, that's all, and hey, they're probably right, but I like to wait until they're actually invalidated before I get rid of them, This correction that we're going through at the moment here is really all about the 50,000. That's what it is. So basically, it's correcting across that level there and doing everything that it's supposed to do. And at one point in the future, it's going to find support on that 50,000 with a classic trading levels pattern, some type of support visually on there. And then we know that we're finished at that point. We may know we're finished earlier, in this case, if we get a 3-wave move down here for this wave E here, then that's fine as well. So look, our main sort of focus at the moment really is about this particular structure to the upside here. Now we can see that the markets move quite strongly in this move here, so that's obviously the third wave in there. So we need to look here as wave 1 and 2, as we have been doing, and then the third wave here. Then there'll be a fourth wave and then a fifth wave. So how high that goes past the 50,000, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. All we can do is count 5 waves in this last leg here. How to count this here? It can be counted as an A wave and then an A and a B and a C wave to here. Not very good though. So a triangle pattern would be better for this here as an A, B, C, D and E wave here for that. Now we're looking at this, let me think, I think we had this on the 10,000 tick, and also the, so we had it as a WXY here, that's right. So we can just remove that from that point. So it doesn't matter, we can leave that there and we can get rid of that, just keeping it simple at that point. But we could also look at it as an ABC with a triangle pattern in here, which we'll take a look at in a moment. But the main thing here is that we'd been looking up here as wave 1 and 2 here, and then the third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave for wave 1 and 2 here. So that's in place, and we're looking now at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 3. So I think that we're into wave 4 at the moment, and then we'll look for wave 5. Yeah, I don't see any problem with this impulse wave whatsoever. Now the situation will be that when we get 5 little waves in this little move here, then anything beyond that, then it's going to become very interesting at that point, because then we can pretty much look at it in the bullish count. So that will be interesting at that point. But otherwise, we'll end up moving back down. If I can just go into more detailed count on this. Let's just get a bit more data in here on this. Overkill. So 5. So from wave C here, we're going up to wave D, and then once that's completed, we'll have an A and a B and a C down here for wave E here of that. But like I said, if this market, I'm expecting it to have a little sort of correction in this space here. It can pull back lower. This is the 38.2%, but normally once they're in group 2, they stay there. So we'll just be looking for 5 waves up here in this case. It's probably likely to poke its head above there, but how far it goes, I'm not that sure. But there's normally, if the extension is in wave 3 here, then the length of wave 1 and the length of wave 5 are kind of same, to a point. Yeah, so that's it really. So from wave C here, an A and a B and a C wave, and then an A and a B and a C wave here. Now, this E wave could pull back 61.8% of wave D, or it could pull back to that previous trend line that we're tracking through here as well. So, as always, it's just better to count the actual structure as it pulls down. We'll just take a closer look at this this pattern in here, just so we're all on the same page. So I looked at this being wave 1 with an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here. I ignored the spike because it basically came back into the same, it popped out of the trend line and came back into the trend line. If I had to include it, I could look at it as a wave B up here and then a wave C here. But I know that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that little move here, so I don't need to include that. It just doesn't make any sense. I know that it's actually happened and it's real, but the way that it jumped out of that and jumped back into it is kind of what makes you got to kind of wonder about that, surely. So it pops out here but then comes back and sits in here. It's kind of like it was always meant to be here, finishing this off here. But there's a clear little 5 waves there, so 1 and 2 to here, and then 3, 4 and 5 to this point for wave 3, and a beautiful wave 4, sideways and ugly, and then up for wave 5 to make wave 1 here of wave 2, and then we started counting up here. It's possible, still a bit of a mystery here, but I think that could probably, it doesn't really matter if it goes here or here in that instance, but I'm still viewing it as wave 1 and 2, and then we've counted all of this up. I've lifted it up a degree of structure, but that's all good. Okay, the lawn man to come, so 3, 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 38.2% retracement level is here, and then we'll have one more move to the upside. So any long trades that you're in at the moment, this is where we'll be looking for them to take profit at the 50 or just before that. Okay, so I'm going to end this video because the property managers come to do the property. So that's it in a nutshell. Okay, so we'll be in wave 4 that will stay within group 2. So group 2 is 46,500. So the 65 number, 72 number and 80 number, but can pull back lower to the 38.2% retracement level here. And then once that's completed, we should see a reaction. Then we should also see a top in the S&P 500 at that point there as well. So then maybe we'll see this come down at this point. But it'll be interesting to see how this plays out here, if it actually gives us another high at that point and so on. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.